Hello guys, this is Maxwell Covington, and today I'll be telling you guys about when you should put your little baby peeps in here with your full-grown chickens and how to do it. Alright, so first things first, what you gotta know is your peeps shouldn't be outside from their heat lamp until they're about 4 weeks old. And you might want to wait a little bit longer for some of the bantams, like these little itty bitty ones, because they need to get their full feathers. And it's okay to actually do it if it's you can do it in 4 weeks if as long as it's warm out. Like here it's like 60 degrees at night or 50 degrees at night, so it doesn't get too cold. And they have a place that they can stay generally away from getting too cold. And so basically what you want to do first is so chickens have these chickens out here, they've already established their pecking order, so they already know who's all in charge and whatnot. And these little peeps, since they don't have a mama or anything that they grew up with, they're all on their own, so they gotta establish themselves within this pecking order. And if you let them in there when they're only 4 weeks old, then the other chickens are gonna harass them too much, and they're gonna pluck out the feathers before they can even get fully feathered. So what you want to do is wait. These guys are like a month and a half old, and I put them in here when they're about a month old, which is about 4 weeks. And at that point, they're good to be out here in the outside. Right now, we just have like this little chicken coop that we have for all the chickens. I built some fence posts in here and a little bit of chicken wire. Here, let them dig that apart. And as you can see, my fence always says how the big chickens wouldn't come over. And I had this board, this piece of plywood that I put in, so that they'll be trapped in the nighttime and the daytime, and then they can come out as they please. So then they're all good. But then what you want to do is, at this point, the chickens are getting familiar with them, so they're not like freaked out by them and thinking, what the hell are these little itty bitty birds? And occasionally I will have one that tries somehow manages to get out, and I'll put them away. But this way they can all get familiar with the chickens and the rooster, which we only have one rooster at this point. But and they can all get familiar and know who's who, and they can start to establish their pecking order better. And then about 3 months, these guys will be about half the size of these normal chickens. And at that point, they're pretty familiar, and then they're big and old enough to be able to establish themselves within the pecking order. And so basically, you just need to wait about 3 months and have them separate, but they need to be familiarizing themselves with these here chickens, so they can all be familiar. And I handle these guys pretty frequently, so it's also good to do that, so they become pretty nice with you, you know. And other than that, you just gotta keep an eye on them, and once you do turn them out, you gotta make sure that they're not messing with them too much. But by 3 months, they should be plenty big enough, and they should be sticking together. But it really helps if you have like little things for them to hide under, like that little igloo I got under there. It's an old doghouse. And just building some cover, maybe having some extra logs over here for when they get turned out. That way, if they are getting harassed, they have somewhere to hide. But these guys should stick together pretty well. As you can see, this one's really friendly. He just hopped up on my hand. But that's pretty much all there is to it. And I'll give you guys an update when these guys are out here living with these big old chickens, normal-sized chickens. And thank you guys for watching this. And if you liked it, please leave a like. And if you have any other further questions about chickens, just leave them below. And goodbye.